You know that moment when you finally stop biting your tongue? Not in anger, not dramatic, just honest. I said what I'd been holding back for years, calmly, clearly. The room went silent, eyes darted, someone coughed. And that's when it hit me like a ton of bricks. They didn't dislike what I said. They disliked that I said anything at all. Because a quiet woman is easy. A speaking woman, she's inconvenient. She disrupts the script they wrote for her. So here's the truth nobody tells you. The moment you use your voice, you'll lose people who only loved your silence. And that's not a loss. That's a filter. Your real people, they'll lean in closer. They'll say, keep going. So speak, even if your voice shakes, especially then. Ladies, let me tell you about the day everything changed. And no, it wasn't a birthday, a divorce, or a dramatic walkout. It was the day you finally said the thing you had been swallowing for years. Not screaming, not yelling, not storming out, just speaking, and suddenly the room felt different. People got quiet, energy shifted, faces changed. That's when you realized, oh, they liked me better when I was quiet. We're trained to stay quiet, women to be grateful and not make waves, men to suppress emotions and handle things alone. By your 40s, speaking up feels like breaking an unwritten contract, but silence betrays yourself more than speaking does. That uncomfortable feeling when you want to speak, it's decades of conditioning keeping you small. You inherited your assigned role. You can return it anytime. Start small, say no to one thing this week, and watch the world continue. Your voice isn't the problem. The silence is. Let's be honest. Most of us were trained early to keep the peace, be easy, be grateful.
Be understanding, be accommodating.
Especially women. But men experience this too, just in different ways. Men are taught, don't complain, don't be emotional. Handle it yourself. So by the time you hit 40, you've spent decades practicing silence. Speaking up doesn't feel natural. It feels like betrayal. Well, not of others, but of the role you were assigned. Ever notice how people lose it when you finally set a boundary? Here's what's really happening. For months, maybe years, your silence sent a message. It said, this is okay. Keep going. I'll absorb it all. Then one day you speak up and suddenly you're the problem. But they're not mad at what you said. They're mad because the free ride just ended. No more emotional labor. No more unlimited access to your energy. That's when you hear it. You've changed. You're being dramatic. You used to be so chill. Translation? I miss the version of you that never pushed back. The version that made my life easier. Setting boundaries doesn't make you difficult. It makes you aware. And some people can't handle that you finally woke up. Why everything shifts when you finally speak. Here's the truth nobody prepares you for. When you speak up, you change the rules. And some people were benefiting from the old rules. Silence kept things comfortable. Silence kept expectations low. Silence kept you over-functioning. So when you finally say, I'm not okay with this. I need more. This doesn't work for me anymore. It feels like an earthquake. But here's the secret. The relationship didn't break. The illusion did. When you stop being a pushover, people often react negatively. Not because you've changed for the worse, but because they've lost convenience and free access to you. By staying silent for years, you inadvertently train people to ignore your boundaries. Then, when you finally speak up, they call you dramatic or difficult. What they really mean is, I miss the version of you that never challenged me. Setting boundaries isn't being difficult. It's growth. You didn't change for the worse. You stopped shrinking for their comfort. Why speaking up doesn't mean blowing it up. This is important. Speaking up does not mean divorce, estrangement, burning bridges, chaos. It means clarity. Healthy relationships can handle truth. Unhealthy dynamics depend on silence. You can say, I love you and this needs to change. I want us and I won't abandon myself. I'm staying and I'm speaking. That's not aggression, that's maturity. 3 things usually happen next. 1, some people adjust. They didn't realize how much you were carrying. They step up. They listen. They grow. These relationships get stronger. 2, some people resist. They minimize, they deflect, they wait for you to go back to normal. This is where consistency matters. 3, some people exit. Not because you were wrong, but because they can't thrive where accountability exists. And that's not loss, that's alignment. After 40, something shifts biologically and emotionally. You don't have the energy to translate your needs. Package your pain politely. Perform gratitude while drowning. Your nervous system says, enough. This isn't bitterness, it's discernment. You're no longer afraid of being misunderstood because you finally understand yourself. For the men watching, you hit 40 and something shifts. That tightness in your chest when you swallow another comment at dinner. The automatic yes when you mean no. The mask you wear because you think that's what strength looks like. Here's what nobody tells you. That silent endurance you're so proud of, it's slowly killing your connection. Your partner doesn't need a stoic provider. They need you, the actual you. With opinions, boundaries, feelings, when you finally speak up about what you actually want, what frustrates you, what scares you, magic happens. Not conflict, connection. Because vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the bridge. Stop being the strong, silent type. Start being the honest, present one. That's real leadership. The day you speak up is the day your life stops being managed by fear. You don't become louder. You become clearer. You don't become difficult. You become honest. And some people will love you more for it. Some will like you less. But every single one of them will finally meet the real you. Ladies, if this message hit, subscribe to Authentically Her After 40 and drop a comment. What's the one thing you're finally ready to say out loud? Because your voice didn't disappear. You were just waiting for the right season to use it. And this is that season.